And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We have a very special guest with us here, Fawn Weaver, who is co-founder and CEO of Uncle Nearest and a best-selling author on the New York Times list. Glad to have you here on The Factor Uncensored and in Houston.
Thank you for having me.
So you have a busy tour. You've been going a month, and you'll be going several more months.
I will. This book, you know, for most books when they come out, people go on a tour for the first week, maybe 2 weeks, and then it's just on to the next thing. I said, no. This is too important, and so I've been traveling across the country. It's available in every airport, so I go in and I sign books in all the airports that I'm going in and out of. But no, this tour is continuing on through the end of October.
And you have an incredible following out there. It's not like regular whiskey drinkers, people who are obsessed. Obsessed with Uncle Nearest.
Yeah, we did a drop, a 7-year-old drop, and it's in a black bottle, and I mean, that thing sold out before you could blink. And so no, people who love Uncle Nearest really love Uncle Nearest.
And of course, you're 7 years in.
Yes, I can't believe it. It is the year of completion, so now we're heading into new beginnings.
And when you realize how successful Uncle Nearest became, you know, in many countries around the world, here in the United States, in every liquor store here in the United States, when you realize just the work that you guys put into it and seeing the fruit, what was that like?
Well, here's the interesting thing for us, because our goals for this company are so big and they're multi-generational, and so I don't think you would talk to anyone in the company that would say that we've arrived. Any person you talk to will tell you, including myself, we've just scratched the surface. So we haven't gotten to a place of feeling as though it's the time to celebrate, because we literally are just, when you're looking at this mountaintop that we've got to climb up, we still consider ourselves at the very bottom of it. And the amount of work that goes into this every single day so that they are in the stores, and that just doesn't happen. People don't just come out with a product and it just end up in a store. Any person who comes out with a product will tell you how difficult it is to get them to make room for you. And so every single day, we're out there in the field getting them to make room for us.
Excellent. And for those who are wondering, obviously many people have heard the story of Nearest Green, the master distiller, first African-American master distiller. Tell us a little bit about that, for those who haven't and have been under a rock.
Everybody who's been under a rock. Nearest Green, this is his son George Green sitting to the right of Jack Daniel on the cover of this book. And what captured my attention about this is when you actually open up the book, I have the full photo, not this cropped version that was originally in the New York Times, but the full version of the photo. And what you see in the full version of the photo is this photo was taken with Jack Daniel at the height of his success, and he's surrounded by his management team, his leadership team, and he cedes the center position of the entire photograph to a black man. That is the only reason we're talking about this to this day. And who we're talking about really is his father, is Nearest Green, first known African-American master distiller, but he was also the teacher and mentor of Jack Daniel. And those who didn't realize that Jack Daniel Distillery No. 7 existed, we get to dive into that into this book, because most people, almost no one knew that Distillery No. 7 ever existed. And we bought the property, and we were able to trace back all of the history to that property, and it's an extraordinary story. But Nearest Green, by all accounts, is the first known African-American master distiller.
And are you proud? So many people want to visit that distillery as well.
Yeah, we are the 7th most visited distillery in the world, and people come in from everywhere. We're home to the Guinness World Record for the world's longest bar, so people come in for that too. But we have so many people there every single weekend. If we had cameras there right now, you'd see wall-to-wall people, and that's a beautiful thing.
And of course, you have women drinking too, right?
It is easily 50% of Uncle Nearest drinkers are women. They are, you know, we're in a country in which women are 50% of the population. We've come into a lot more power, and every single day we're becoming more and more comfortable with that power. So there's certain things that have just kind of been, it's a man's drink, it's a man's book, it's a man's this, it's a man's that. We're just shattering all of that and saying, no, it's for everybody. And we're going to be a part of that, everybody. And so, yeah, no, Uncle Nearest is being consumed by a lot of women, and Love and Whiskey, the book, is being read by a lot of men.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And so you mentioned women in power. Was there any pushback from this African-American woman trying to get this liquor into stores in America?
Well, I think they just didn't take us seriously. And in all fairness, there hadn't been a black woman to come before me that has succeeded. And so there was no reason for anyone to take us seriously until they saw the success, until we built the following. Everyone that had come before me, they'd come in, years later, they're out of the industry, nothing really happened, nobody remembers that they even had a product. And so that's how they treated me coming into it, was really just kind of a pat on the head. She won't be here very long. She doesn't know what she's doing, and she doesn't know that this industry doesn't really, it's not built for her. And so I had to shape-shift the industry to make it work for me.
And you had to create your own blueprint.
Oh, absolutely.
So are you hearing from or seeing women who come forward saying, look, I'd like to do something like this?
Well, they already are. The number of women that have come forward, and they will absolutely credit the success of Uncle Nearest for the bourbon brand that they've started, the liqueur brand that they've started, vodka, tequila. You can track the number of women, the number of people that have come into this industry since Uncle Nearest began succeeding in 2018, 2019, where we were so visibly succeeding. The number that have come in over that short period of time, I would venture to say, is probably more than the number we had seen in the history of the industry up until that point. Incredible.
The book is Love and Whiskey by Fawn Weaver, co-founder and CEO of Uncle Nearest. We want to thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and enjoy your tour. Don't get tired of it.
Oh, I will not get tired. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.